Section 3 of The American Diary of a Japanese Girl. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Sylvia Wolf. The American Diary of a Japanese Girl by Yone Noguchi. In America, Part 1. In America, San Francisco, night 21st. Goodbye, Mr. Belgic. I delight in personifying everything as a gentleman. What does it mean under the sun? Kitsune ni tsukumareta wa? Evil fox, I suppose, got hold of me. Gentlemen, is this real America? I exclaimed. Oh yeah? Ma, my American dream was a complete failure. Did I ever fancy any sky-invading dragon of smoke in my own America? The smoke stifled me. Why did I lock up my perfume bottle in my trunk? I hardly endured the smell from the wagons at the wharf. Their rattling noise thrust itself into my head. A squad of Chinamen there puffed incessantly the menacing smell of cigars. Were I the mayor of San Francisco? How romantic, the mayor, Miss Morning Glory sounds. I would not pause a moment before erecting 3 bathhouses around the wharf. I never dreamed that human beings could cast such an insulting smell. The smell of honorable wagon drivers is the smell of a monkey. Their wild faces also prove their likeness to it. They must have furnished all the evidence to Mr. Darwin. The better part lies some distance from here, said my uncle. I exclaimed how inhospitable the Americans were to receive visitors from the back door of the city. We are not empty-stomached tramps rapping the kitchen door for a crust of bread. We refused hotel carriage. We walked from the Oriental Wharf for the sake of the street sightseeing. Tamagata wa? A house was whirling along the street. Look at the horseless car. How could it be possible to pull it with a rope underground? Everything reveals a huge scale of measurement. The continental spectacle is different from that of our islands. We 40,000 Japs must raise our heads from wee bits of land. There's no room to stretch elbows. We have to stay like dwarf trees. I shouldn't be surprised if the Americans exclaimed in Japan, "What a petty show." Such a riotous rush! What a deafening uproar! The lazy halt of a moment on the street must have been regarded, I fancied, as a violation of the law. I wondered whether 12 were not slain each hour on the market street by the cars. Cars, cars, and cars. It was no use to look beautiful in such a cyclone city. Not even one gentleman moved his admiring eyes to my face. How sad. I thought it must be some festival. No, the usual Saturday throng, my uncle said. Then I asked myself whether Tokyo streets were only like a midnight of the city. My beloved minister kept his mouth open. What heavy lips he had, amazed at the high edifices. "Oh, that's astonishing!" he cried, throwing his sottish eyes on the clock of the Chronicle building. "Boys are commenting on you," I whispered. I beseeched him not to act so droll. He tossed out in his careless fashion his everlasting heroic laugh. "Ha, ha, ha!" A hawkish lad, I have not seen one sleepy fellow yet, drew near the minister shortly after we left the wharf and begged to carry his bag. He was only too glad to be assisted. The brown diplomatist thought it a loving deed toward the foreigner. He bowed after some blocks, thanking the boy with a hearty arigato. "Sir, you have to pay me 2 bits." His hand went to his pocket, when my uncle tapped his stooping back, speaking, "This is the country of eternal pay, 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 old man." What does a genuine American beggar look like? Was my old question. The American beggar my friend saw at Yokohama Park was dressed up in a swallow-tail coat. Emerson's essays were in his hand. He was such a gentleman, Mr. Beggar, she said. I often heard that everybody is a millionaire in America. I thought it likely that I should see a swell Mr. Beggar among the Americans. How many a time had I planned to make a special trip to Yokohama for acquaintance with the Honorable Emerson Schooler? Alas, it was merely a fancy. I have seen Mr. Beggar on the street. He didn't appear in the formal dignity of a dress coat. Where was his Emerson? He was not unlike his Oriental brothers, after all. He stood because he wasn't used to kneeling like the Japs. The only difference was that he carried pencils instead of a musical instrument. He is a merchant. This is a business country, while the Japanese Mr. Beggar is an artist, I suppose. My little gold watch pointed 11. I have been writing for some hours about my first impression of the city from the wharf, and my journey from there to this palace hotel. The number of my room is 489. I fear I may not return if I want to go out. It's so hard to remember the number. The large mirror reflected me as being so very small in the big room. Such a great room with high ceiling. I don't feel at home at all. Not a petal of flower, no inviting picture on the wall. I was tired of hearing the artificial greeting, "Irashaimashi," or "honorable welcome," of the eternally bowing Japanese hotel attendants. But the too simple treatment of American hotel is hardly to my taste. Not even one girl to wait on me here. No honorable tea and cake. 22nd. I need repose. The last few weeks have stirred me dreadfully. I will slumber just comfortably day after day, I decided. But the same feeling as on the ocean returned. My American bed acted like water, waving at even my slightest motion. I fancied I was exercising even in sleep. It is too soft. Nothing can put me at complete ease like my hereditary lying on the floor. I was restless all night long. I got up, since the bed was no joy. Oh, the blue sky! I thought I should never again see a sapphire sky while I am here. I was wrong. This is church day. The bells of the streetcars sounded musical. The sky appeared in best Sunday dress. I felt happy thinking that I should see the stars from my hotel window tonight. I made many useless trips up and down the elevator for fun. What a tickling dizziness I tasted! I close my eyes when it goes. It's an awfully new thing, I reckon. Something on the same plan, I imagine, as a serriage of the Japanese stage for a footless ghost rising to vanish. It is astonishing to notice what a condescending manner the white gentlemen display toward the ladies. They take off their hats in the elevator, some showing such a great bald head, like a funny Robinzuru, that is as common as spectacled children, if any woman is present. They stand humbly as Japs to the august Son of Heaven. They crawl out like lambs after the woman steps away. It puzzles me to solve how women can be deserving of such honor. What a goody-goody act! But I wonder how they behave themselves before God. 23rd. It is delightful to sit opposite the whitest of linen and to portray on it the face of an imaginary Mr. Sweetheart while eating. Whiteness is appetizing, and the boldly marked creases on the linen are so dear. Without them, the linen is not half so inviting. I was taught the beauty of single line in drawing class some years ago, but for the first time I fully comprehended it from the American tablecloth. I wished I could ever stay gazing at it. If I start my housekeeping in this country, do I ever dream of it? I shall not hesitate to invest all my money in linen. I laughed when I fancied that I sat with my husband. Where's he in the world? Spreading a skillfully ironed linen cloth on the spring grasses. What a gratifying white and green! And I upset a teapot over the linen, while he ran after water. Then I picked all the buttercups and covered the dark red stain. The minister makes a ridiculous show of himself in the dining-room. His laughter draws the attention of every lady. This morning he exclaimed, "Americans have no courtesy for strangers, except meaning money." And he finished his speech with his boisterous "ha ha ha." A pale, impatient lady, like a trembling winter leaf, sitting at the table next to us, shrugged her shoulders and muttered, "Oh my." I hoped I could invent any scheme to make him hasten to his post, Kara or Tenjiku, whatever place it be. He is good-natured like a rubber stamp, but I am sorry to say that he does not fit America. I was relieved when he announced that his departure would occur tomorrow. My dignity was saved. I cut a square piece of paper. I penciled on it as follows: To the Japanese legation, the City of Mexico. Handle carefully, easily broken. I put it on the large palm of the minister. I warned him that he should never forget to pin it on his breast. "Mean little thing you are," he said, and his great happy ha 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 followed as usual. Bye bye. The Negroes are horrid. I scanned them on the first chance of my life. What is the standard of beauty of their tribe? I am eager to be informed. I searched for coon in my dictionary. The explanation was unsatisfactory. The ever so kind Americans don't consider them, I am certain, as animals allied to the bear. Tell me what it means. 24th. Spittoon. The American spittoon is famous, Uncle says, from every corner in this 9-story hotel. Think of its 851 rooms. You are met by the greeting of the spittoon. How many thousand are there? It must be a tremendous task to keep them clean as they are. I wonder why the proprietor doesn't give the city the benefit of some of them. San Francisco ought to place spittoons along the sidewalk. The ladies wear such a long gaudy skirt, and it is quite a fashion of modern gents, it appears, to spit on the pavement. This Palace Hotel is a palace. You drop into the toilet room, for instance. You cannot help exclaiming, "Ya? Hiya! Japan is 3 centuries behind." Everything presents to you a silent lecture of scientific modernism. Whenever I am bothered too much by my uncle, I lock myself up in the toilet room. There I feel the whole world is mine. I can take off my shoes. I can play acrobat if I prefer. Nobody can spy me. It is the place where you can pray or cry all you desire without one interruption. My room is great, equipped with every new invention. Numbers of electric globes dazzle with kingly light above my head. If I enter my room at dusk, I push a button of electricity. What a satisfaction I earn seeing every light appear to my honorable service. I look upon my finger, wondering how such an oriental little thing can make itself potent like the mighty thumb of Mr. Edison. 25th. What a novel sensation I felt in writing San Francisco, USA, at the head of my tablet. What agitation I shall feel when I write my first Mrs. before my name. Woman must grow tired of being addressed Miss sooner or later. I have often said that I hardly saw any necessity for corresponding when one lives on such a small island as Japan. I could see my friends in a day or two, at whatever place I was. I have now the ocean between me and my home. Letter writing is worthwhile. I did not know it was such a sweet piece of work. I should declare it to be as legitimate and inexpensive a game as every woman could indulge in. I was stepping along the courtyard of this hotel. I have seen a gentleman kissing a woman. I felt my face catching fire. Isn't that a shame in a public place? I returned to my apartment. The mirror showed my cheeks still blushing. The Japanese consul and his American wife, she is some inches higher than her darling, paid us a call. I said to myself that they did not match well. It was like a Hirodahori with a different coat of arms. The consul looked proud, as if he carried a crocodile. Mrs. Consul invited us for luncheon next Sunday. Quite a family party, ho ho ho. Her voice was unceremonious. I noticed that one of her hairpins was about to drop. I thought that American woman was as careless as I. How many hairpins do you suppose I lost yesterday? 4! Isn't that awful? My uncle innocently stated to her I was the Great Belle of Tokyo. I secretly pinched his arm through his coat sleeve. My little signal did not influence him at all. He kept on his hyperbolical advertisement of me. She promised a beautiful girl to meet me on Sunday. I fancied how she looked. I thought my performance of the first interview with American Woman was excellent, but my rehearsal at home was useless. 26th. I lost my little charm. It worried me awfully. It was given me by my old-fashioned mother. She got it after a holy journey of 1 month to the shrine of Tenno-sama. I should be safe, mother said, from water, fire, and highwaymen. What else, God only knows, as long as I should carry it. I sought after it everywhere. I begged my uncle to let me examine his trunk. Cast off an ancient superstition, uncle scorned. I sat languidly in the large armchair which almost swallowed my small body. I imagined many a punishment already inflicted on me. The tic-tac of my watch from my waist encouraged my nervousness. There is nothing more irritating than a tic-tac. I locked up my watch in the drawer of the dresser. I still felt its tic-tac pursuing my ears. Then I put it under the pillow. 27th. How I wished I could exchange a $10 gold piece for a tassel of curly hair. American Woman is nothing without it. Its infirm gesticulation is a temptation. In Japan, I regarded it as bad luck to own waving hair. But my tastes cannot remain unaltered in America. I don't mind being covered with even red hair. Red hair is vivacity, fit for summer's shiny hair. I remember that I trembled at sight of the red hair of an American woman at Tokyo. Japanese regarded it as the hair of the red demon in Jigoku. I sat before the looking-glass with a pair of curling tongs. I tried to manage them with surprising patience. I assure you, God doesn't vouchsafe me much patience. Such disobedient tools! They didn't work at all. I threw them on the floor in indignation. Drawn by Genjiro Ieto. Such disobedient tools! My wrists pained. I sat on the floor, stretching out my legs. My shoestrings were loosed, but my hands did not hasten to them. I was exhausted with making my hair curl. I sent my uncle to fetch a hairdresser. End of section 3.